Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about this really interesting article called "Can the CW Survive Without Superheroes and Teen Soaps?" from Variety. We're going to be breaking it down, talking about it. Obviously I made a CW video just a couple of days ago. I've got another Superman Lois video coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. But for now, if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so just want to remind you guys, if you want to be featured in a upcoming Q&A video, please be sure to go to the community tab on my channel right now. It's like right next to the video section, and you can submit any questions or theories you have that you want me to break down in an upcoming video, and of course I will shout you out in the video if you do that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into today's main topic. So the CW systemically stripped away its superhero dramas and teen-centric soaps during the 2022 to 2023 television season, says Variety, taking the foundation of its primetime programming slate down to the studs. Now comes the reveal of a new renovation that leans heavily on niche sports, noisy unscripted series, procedural dramas, and broad skewing comedies. So I really like that Variety is doing an article on this, because this is what I've been saying the whole time. Do you think the CW is going to survive in its new iteration? Well, obviously I have my opinions and Variety is going to give their opinions, and obviously their opinions are much more objective because, you know, this is a report. So let's break this down. So it's right that they are reinvigorating their programming with different types of TV shows, and you know, it's very unlikely that it's going to work because it's so different from what previously the CW had. So the change comes a year after Texas-based Nexstar Media Group acquired a majority stake in the CW from its original founders CBS and Warner Bros., the C and the W in CW. A new owner inevitably brings new priorities and a new regime, and the CW's freshly appointed leadership team of President Dennis Miller and entertainment president Brad Schwartz have a nail-biter of a season ahead. There's little doubt that the CW will see a ratings drop, at least early on, as it implements a radical shift in content strategy. The new CW team can only hope that Nexstar, led by local TV news anchor turned investor Perry Sook, shows as much patience with its makeover as it has over the past 3 years with News Nation, the cable news channel that Nexstar revamped from entertainment-focused channel WGN America. Birthed in 2006 by the merger of the WB network and UPN, the CW is taking a hard pivot into new programming lanes at a time when traditional ad-supported networks are struggling to maintain an audience. So basically they've done this before and they hope to do it again, and they think they're going to be successful, but I would argue something like the CW is much bigger than something like News Nation, which, you know, barely anyone has heard of compared to the CW, or at least, you know, someone from not in America, I guess. The CW has got a lot more popular programming, and by removing all that popular programming, they're basically stripping away the core DNA of the CW and making a completely different network. And it's true, this is at a time where networks are struggling, so I understand wanting to take a pivot, but clearly they've gone into buying the CW with this intention of being like, okay, we don't care what network we're going to buy, we're going to strip away what we can, we're going to buy it, and we're going to make a network that is profitable, and we're going to do that like no matter how. So they say, we're broadcast, we're not a niche cable channel, we have to reach the largest audience possible. Obviously this is them coming in and, you know, realigning the CW's main purpose, because previously the CW was made as a network for, you know, Warner Brothers and CBS to have the different programming ventures, basically for it to just be a platform for that. And it wasn't all about making profit. That has been pretty much explicit since they started the CW. So obviously what they're talking about now is not what it used to be, but what they're trying to make the CW into, you know, into a specific broadcast place where they can get as many viewers as possible. Let's continue with this. According to Schwartz, the CW has more than a dozen unscripted series in production in the US and 5 scripted series that are either international productions, including the Sophie Turner-led Joan, which is actually an English production, or indie projects. So then Variety goes on to basically explain how for most of its 17 years the CW has been dominated by scripted series. Now the slate is focused on unscripted series, including F-Boy Island. The provocative dating series that previously ran on HBO Max is now on the CW, and it has picked up more Canadian produced dramas and comedies, notably Sullivan's Crossing and the Spencer Sisters, and sports including golf and NASCAR. But with Riverdale and Nancy Drew ending on August 23rd, following a slew of cancellations throughout last season, the new CW regime dares to defy what was laid out by then Chief Mark Pedowitz. Obviously, he was kind of the guy in charge for the last 12 years when the Arrowverse was blossoming and they were creating all these amazing shows and everyone was super into the CW and what they were doing. We all knew what we were getting when we're getting a CW show. They created shows like Riverdale, which definitely found a big audience, and so the network helped seed big series assets for CBS and Warner Bros, as I said before, and it reached lucrative licensing deals with Netflix in 2011 and 2016 for reruns of series after each season finished its first run airing on the CW. These deals made the difference in the CW's profit statement. So I think actually the main problem here is probably CBS and Warner Bros giving up on the CW and being like, okay, we have this offer from Nexstar, let's accept it. And basically by them doing it, they've just, given up all rights to what the CW was, and, they gave up on the CW pretty much. That's what we can say as of right now. So everything over that last 12 years pretty much was for nothing, right? Like, of course, we're going to have some great content that has come out. Like, the Arrowverse was great. There was some really great shows on the CW, but there is no future for the CW, basically, like, as we knew it. So I really hope, as I've said in recent videos, Superman Lois goes elsewhere if it's going to continue beyond Season 4, which will be on the CW. Hopefully Season 5 would be on Max. That would be my eventual hope, because I really don't want to have much to do with CW anymore in this new iteration. I really think it's going to go downhill, and it seems like Variety is agreeing with me here. Let's continue with this. So that all changed, however, in 2016 when the Netflix pact ended in May 2019. So yeah, it didn't end in 2016, it was 2019. And so at that point, CBS parent company Viacom CBS and Warner Media decided to funnel original content to their own streamers like CBS All Access and HBO Max respectively. Basically, this was forced by the pandemic and there being like a lack of access to different content in cinemas, and so every studio out there steered their focus to streaming services. And so, this kind of in turn actually led to the downfall of the CW. So as Peak TV turned the industry's focus from building curated cable networks to pooling internal resources around subscription streamers, it became clear that CBS and Warner Media had both less interest in sticking with the CW joint venture, as definitely explained by their eventual selling of their big shares in the network. They've only got like tiny little shares in it, so they really don't care too much about their creation anymore, because it just hasn't worked out for the best. Anyway, you've heard the rest. Like, that's pretty much exactly what I've been saying over the last however many months it's been since Nexstar took over, and with the CW's new focus, it's meant to be like a better fit to what Nexstar was already kind of doing, and skewing it towards more of like an older audience rather than the CW's traditional younger audience. And obviously this is not the benefit to us, the fans, and this is no good news for anyone that has any interest in any of the shows. So to conclude the article, a CW alum said to Variety, "The CW has a very distinct brand. It's definitely not going to be that brand going forward, but what is it going to be? Usually that is defined by what you put on the air. So right now, with all these different acquisitions, it still doesn't feel like it's a cohesive, this is what we are to our viewers, other than what they say they're going for, older and broader." I think that perfectly sums it up. It's very much a hodgepodge right now. Like, they're trying to get into sports, they're trying to get into non-scripted, they're trying to get into comedies. Like, they can't make their mind up as to what their audience is, apart from that audience is older and potentially broader, although I argue it's not that much broader. It's just like they're putting their money into like a bunch of different types of content. But that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It really helps this video out. Also subscribe and turn on notifications if you're new around here. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video. And so I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.